You probably know Legacy 4J, it's a beautiful pack by ViolaFlower, and yes, it has the tutorial world on the Java edition, yes, it has all of these old menus with controller support, which is great, but it doesn't answer the fundamental question we've all had since 2017, which is what if 4J was still developing console? What if we didn't just take the legacy out of legacy console, but actively improved on all of the things that we used to love? Well, today I'm going to be showing you that, but first, a wave of nostalgia. Welcome to Minecraft Re-Console Edition. This is absolutely sensational because it really feels like the old Minecraft menu right here, even down to those Xbox 360 buttons in the bottom left, and this is just delightful to go into anything and see that you don't just have the tutorial, you have all of these options, and today I want to show you everything I can from this because I want to make this as all-inclusive a video as I can, and so we're going to be doing that by splitting this video into 3 parts. First, the menus, because you'd be surprised how much of Minecraft's Java's accessibility is something that is kind of hard for people on console and Bedrock. The second is going to be how much they've worked on parity in terms of the main game, and then the third is how they've actually extended console past it into the future. The obvious way that you might think about that is like the menu screens and having modern features, but they thought about all sorts of other things that would have happened were there a console edition today, and I absolutely have to show those to you right after I say that yeah, this isn't the exact same Minecraft Xbox 360 menu, but there's a few things which this has which Minecraft 360 doesn't, such as a languages setting, which is right over here. This includes every Minecraft Java language, including Pirate Speak should you want it, and I have to imagine that therefore means they've ported all of their different menu options into each of these languages. Absolutely insane to really think about. But then we have mods where you can look at certain things and see which mods are enabled right now. You can also do this from the launcher, but it's kind of fun if you ask me. What is this doing in here? And you can see like OK Zoomer, it's a highly configurable zoom. All of these different things are hanging around in here, and you can learn about them should you want to. Then we've got how to play, which is apparently a work in progress. We've got the controls. You can play on a controller with this. That's insane and has to be said, right? But yeah, you've got controller 1, X input, GLFW. You've got controller handler, GLFW. I don't know what this means, by the way. But I did something and I should not have, apparently. Okay, I guess we could really summarize by saying you've got all of the settings that you'd expect in modern Minecraft, but brought to you in these fun sliders, which is just really cool in my opinion. I think genuinely as a menu UI, this is much better. Even if you had just the menu and wanted to play regular Java, this is a much better way to do it, especially because, crazily enough, it's 2024 and this is the only way to have controller support. There is no controller support in default Java. You have to do this if you want it. And so, yeah, I think finally to round out our menu talk, we have to say, did you know you can do some fun things with saves like this? Look how great and easy and transparent this is. But also, if we click on this world, we can then select a resource pack as we join it, or a resource sort. I really don't know what that officially means. There's a couple of these that I don't know if they licensed or if they're just hoping no one cares about. But also you can see beta style, dark mode resources, and even more fun, trailer style resources. We can experience LCE in the style of the Minecraft trailers. You better believe I want to do that. But yeah, if we go to more options, you can see some familiar options and some not ones. Resetting the never and the end are such huge game changers. I love that these exist. This is how I got so many dragon eggs in my world. But you also see some settings that you wouldn't expect on console. Random tick speed, accumulation height, lava source conversion, etc. But then also you can see disable Elytra movement check and keep inventory. And there's a lot of settings we had before and a lot that we don't, such as ender pearls vanishing on death. It's very, very fun and you can play with these should you want to. But now I think we're finally ready. Let's jump into the tutorial world. Let's do it from scratch, just so you know it's a whole new world. Although really I should say, there's one last thing missing, because I really feel like immediately we've been thrown back to 2012, right? Does it not look that way just a little bit? But yeah, there is one intriguing difference right here that could make me feel a little bit more at home, because obviously in 2012, I wasn't playing as the Ocelot, and so we can change our skin in-game. I am amazed they are able to do this. This is one of Java's biggest weaknesses, but here we go. This is what it would have been like. We can also, should we want to, just for fun here, right? Should I want to, I can change to any skin from any of the packs. Again, don't know about the licensing, but you can be the Red Spartan with a party hat on there. You can be any of these skins from any of the editions. This is the ultimate collection of skin packs, so Little Big Planet down to Mass Effect. I have to imagine Super Mario's not going to be here, but I'd be amazed if it was. Okay, yeah, they got the Simpsons though. Wow. They've got quite a few interesting packs, including Skin Pack 5. This is the skin pack where the Ocelot Man officially comes from, and so look at that. I am now the official Ocelot Man in Minecraft Java for the first time ever. This feels so cool. It feels illegal if I'm being honest, but with that said, let's go check it out. I might post a screenshot of this on Twitter and see if people know what I'm doing. Okay, so immediately, just built into the Java edition, I can access the full confines of this TU1 tutorial world, but then I can immediately decide to leave this slightly wrong-feeling world, because it has modern textures, and then just jump into the next one. Oh yeah, this is a wave of nostalgia, but we can look at it and then say, actually, I'd like to see the next one. Oh yeah, this one with the little hill that you had to walk up. This is one that sticks into my memory especially. But then, you know, I might say, actually, what matters way more to me is this classic TU19 tutorial world castle. Oh yeah, that's a bit of a nostalgia wave. Nowadays, I think of this and I think of Reforged, but this is where it originally came from. But you know what else this tutorial world has inside of it? I'll use my super flying speed to show you that this is something lots of people got excited about. Wow, what's it doing there in the tutorial world? I'll tell you what. Complete with the 4J Studios Love Garden. Controversies definitely removed. Yeah, you can find literally every single tutorial here, as you can probably imagine. You saw the big list earlier, but it's still so great that they're curated and they're here immediately to load up should you want to. And if you want to then, load it up but in a brand new texture pack, you also have that exact ability, all from this option and an easy to use GUI. But it's not just the easy to use GUI, which I'm impressed by. I really just want to load it up in the trailer pack here to, oh, wow. Minecraft console, if they decided to make trailers for it in the modern Minecraft style, huh? Super fascinating. I really want to load up my own house inside of this, but to keep things on track for today, I want to show you the fact that, yeah, if I wanted to fly around my world, what would I have to do if I was playing the Java edition normally? I'd have to type in /game mode, and then I'd have to know that it's exactly survival. I can't just do an S. It's a bit of a pain, I think most people would agree. And so what can you do in the Re-Console edition? Well, let me show you, because you have host privileges at all times, and so if I want to, I can set my game mode to creative, and wow, now I can fly around the tutorial world. Oh, this is really such a bizarre thing to see in this texture pack that it definitely wasn't made for. But you could picture them making all sorts of fun trailers in here, right? But yeah, if we go to the creative inventory, oh yeah, that's this back as well. It is beautiful how many tiny attention to details they managed to get, while also having to make hard decisions about which way should the bed face, about where should the goat horns go, or any of these other brand new items that have come out. They've gotten decent solutions to basically all of it, and like we discussed earlier, you could go into the settings and you can add search, or you can go to start, just like we'll do right here, and see which advancements you've unlocked. This is I think a Wii U feature, because on the Xbox and PlayStation and maybe even Switch there were just achievements or trophies, but on the Wii U there was none of that, so they gave you a reason to progress and gave you these little things. However, they just say the names on them right now. I don't know if that's necessarily that useful. Like, would I know what careful restoration means? Again, maybe if you play Java you know all of these achievements off the top of your head, but it's so cool to see them with even a unique little bit of design, and that is a piece of parity that you wouldn't even think about. What does this even mean, by the way? Why is there a leaderboard? Is this solely for the sake of tracking my stuff? I'd say it has to be, right? Because it says filter overall. Am I the only person who's ever played this game? Or does it just not link into online? I guess it's that second one. But yeah, I love the number of things that they really come to think about. And I'm just going to quickly enable search, because I want to know what that looks like in the creative inventory before we go any further. So I can now search the creative inventory. Wait, how would I though? Maybe it's because I literally don't know. Where maybe I had to enable it before I loaded up the world? No, okay. Well, there's no way to understand that one. By the way, here's something fun. If you, so here's my cursor when I'm opening my inventory, right? But if I switch over to keyboard and mouse, The tooltips don't seem to change, which I think is just it being cutesy. But you can see I've got this console-style cursor, and I think that's very cutesy too. Again, lots of very, very fun details, all slid perfectly into this old UI, which just feels like home. It just feels correct to me. If I had to play Minecraft Java for an extended period of time, I would love to do it right here in ReConsole. And it's because so many of these tiny details have been matched perfectly to what I expect rather than, you know, like to some weird twisted view of it. And so, what's a great example of that? Well, let's go on a minecart ride and... Oh, I have to probably push this button to... Okay, let's go on a minecart ride and find out. Because, wow, look at that. Double speed. Wow, look at this. There are coordinates on the maps. Every single console person has been screaming this from the rooftops that Java with its F3 only coordinates. Does F3 exist, by the way? Oh, they've got a fancy version of the F3 menu. It pops in and out. That's kind of for later in the video. But, yeah, so they have... You know, like, the Java solution is messy, and the Bedrock solution is one that a lot of, you know, like, players also... I guess this doesn't work correctly. Okay, we're gonna try that again, shall we? But a lot of things in here are using the... Java and Bedrock often comes to heads on what a solution should be, and it's like, well, clearly the console got a good compromise. The map item has some real lore as to why it should tell you where you are, because you can literally see yourself. You can work out where you are from the terrain above, and I think it's just such a smarter idea to use this. By the way, something that is very intriguing to most people, I'm sure, is the fact that these worlds do have their limited borders, but that is just an option that you can enable in this. If you wanted to, you could play full Java, or you could play full console. Let me show you. Honestly, even when it crashes, I'm not that mad, because all of a sudden we get to see this again. So when we go to create a new world, you'll notice that we have 3 game mode options: survival, hardcore, creative, and for any of those we can choose to make a brand new world type. This world type is not exactly how it was in the console edition because it has to incorporate all of the Java settings in here. So as well as world type default, we've got super flat, large biomes, amplified, and single biome. It's kind of cool, by the way, if you use any of these settings and want to customize them. They built in the old GUI. It's insane to me that they could do this, but look, it works. You have the layer height slider, you can set 182 layers of bedrock and 1 layer of grass, and you wouldn't want to do that, but the fact that you can and that all of these presets exist, do they work? They do work! Someone put so much work into just that right there, and I love it. I love it so much that all of this is in here, but even crazier is this last setting called Modern Beta. So this allows you to generate your world as if it was in an old version. So the most common one that people nostalgia back to is Beta 1.73, but you can also go back to Beta 1.1, Skylands. Wait, really? You can use the removed sky dimension, alpha, and in here, kind of hidden at the very bottom, I didn't find it at first, to be honest, is beta Xbox Legacy. You can play the original Xbox 360 size world with original Xbox 360 style terrain. Fascinating, right? And so let's try that right now. Oh, we have to hit use preset, but we can't. Okay, there we go. Use preset, and we can pick. Oh, I don't know what changing these settings would do, but I'm not going to do it. Instead, I'm going to set this up, and we're going to start a brand new world with the PS4 power. You know, actually, let's use the classic resource art. Actually, no. You know what? Let's use dark mode just because I'm curious. Let's do it. New world time. Let's see what we get. Oh wow, yeah. This takes me back a little bit. This is roughly what it looked like when I first started playing Minecraft. Obviously, on the Java edition before I got it on the 360. And then it reminds me of exactly when I started my first Xbox 360 world. Not my current Let's Play world, my CCCC one. You know, back when I was still calling cactuses what are modern day slurs. But the interesting thing is that, like, it's fascinating to look at this and just see, like, it feels like you are back in that time in a way that my brain can't quite reconcile. And I'm sure if I were to switch into creative, oh, I don't have host privileges turned on, I'd be able to get to the edge of the world here and show you what that's like. Oh yeah, this is super cool. And this is just another showcase of parity. We could point out all of the other different versions of it which exist right here, but needless to say, this is what Minecraft Console Edition... Oh, but it's got modern villagers. That's wild, huh? This is what Minecraft Console Edition used to look and play like with just a few touches here or there to make it look like the Java Edition, but they've also then taken some aspects of the game and said, yeah, actually, Java Edition did this and went beyond it, so we need to add it. And then in some cases, they've kind of made some estimations about what Console Edition would have done did it remain. And that's what I think we should go into next. So I'm gonna have to conclude that this part of the video is going to contain some controversies, because obviously what counts as an improvement and what is an abomination is something that is much harder to do after the fact, but they've made some interesting changes here, and so I converted over one of my Bedrock worlds, one you might just recognize if you've been watching the live streams recently, to show you one of the most interesting changes, which is adding dynamic lighting. I think that one of the things that 4J was always receptive to doing is taking a very popular feature that was in their remit and just saying, yeah, why don't we have this actually? And so, yeah, basically this is a version of Minecraft which has not just a change in grass colors, I think all for the better. Look how great this jungle looks, but even when you get to the plains biome at the end there, it looks great too. There is much more variation in grass color, and it all looks more natural. The saturation is all kind of great too, but so too are decisions that you get to make about controversial things. So if there was a console edition still around today, while Java was somehow on its combat system and Bedrock was on its, what do you think the console edition would do in terms of combat? It kind of picked a half in, half out solution. Also, wow. It's my first time actually unlocking one. It kind of picked a half in, half out solution back in 2017, and so maybe they would pick something similar today. Did you see how I just attacked that zombie by using Bedrock combat? There is no cooldown, but that's actually tweakable. It's not my favorite part of the menu UI, I'm going to be totally honest. It looks a little bit messy, but that's because it comes from the Nostalgic Tweaks pack. But you can actually turn on the combat delay or turn it off. And again, this is something that Java players have been asking for years, and you can see why they wouldn't necessarily add it there. But for console, it would make some sense that you could have a default combat system, maybe that of Bedrock, because that's, you know, that might make more sense, you could argue. But then later, you could turn on the one from Java, even if it's a host privilege sort of setting. There are all sorts of smart decisions that you get to customize this way while still having that clear default the console has. I even feel like one of these smart things is having a very easy to use you know, menu like this means that if we want to jump into creative, but for some reason don't want to manually go in there, we could do it that way, or we could do the much more complex commands that are never going to work by default. I literally can't think of one. Boss bar, and then add one, I don't know what this is, what I'm doing right here. I'm just kind of winging it, but you get the idea that you could actually add commands, and if you had a friendly enough GUI, it could work on controllers, ideally controllers with a keyboard attached, but all of these different things are working just great. And my personal favorite, if we do quickly hop over into I actually don't have to do back on a like, I'm playing keyboard and mouse right now. Let's reconnect my controller so I can go to my host settings, because it's just so much more obvious right here. Let's set the game mode to creative for me personally, as well as we could disable exhaustion. Actually, let's add fly to survival. It's been so long since I've done this. Oh yeah, this used to be all the rage back in the day. And it's one of those weird alien console things that you can't explain to anyone who didn't play it, right? It's like, oh yeah, you could fly in survival, sort of, back then, if you wanted to be partially in survival, partially in creative, you know, half survival, half creative nonsense. But the way that flying works is so cool. Look at the way you can strafe from side to side. You could really take advantage of looking around your world in a way that you just can't on other editions. I think it's really great personally. And yeah, if you think that this world is really great too, then consider subscribing to the channel. Did you know if you're a channel member, that is to say, you go with the join button on YouTube, you actually get access to the download of my hardcore world if you want to check it out for yourself, as well as all sorts of other fun goodies and exclusives and stuff like that. And so do consider doing that if you want to support the channel, because it has been 12 years now since I started playing Minecraft console, and despite that, all these years later, seeing a console skin for Java is the thing that makes me actually want to play more of this version of the game. And oh, look at that, even got the little hearts coming off there. So delightful in my opinion. So many tiny little changes that I absolutely love. And yeah, even that little, like, having your skin go next to your name in the hotbar. There's so many delightful things that Minecraft could have done were they still investing in making you know, an independent you know, console version of the game. And although we don't have the proof of what that could be like, we have this, and it's almost as good. Fun fact, there's actually a Bedrock version. Maybe we should check it out. Let me know if you want to see that. But for now, thank you for watching, and I'll see you next time. Good. Man, wheat seeds just, they're never going to feel right. It's just seeds, okay? We'd have to do a Seed Sunday with our Superfly sometime. If we ever do Seed Sunday on Java, this is the way I'll show it off. Anyway, thank you for watching. I hope you all enjoyed, and I'll see you next time.